Hello, I'm Jim Riley, and welcome to All the Right Connections. My guest today, James Reynolds, President of Mid-Hudson Cablevision. James?
Jim, always a pleasure.
It is. I can make sure I get to see you by hosting this show every once in a while, so it's good for me.
Well, great.
It looks like we have uniforms on, but actually we're going to highlight 40 years of service to the community. Isn't that correct?
Time flies when you're having fun, Jim.
It certainly does. 40 years, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't really understand it yet, but it is true. The company started in 1971 in Catskill and was the first franchise, and Hudson followed a few years later, and then we began expanding service on both sides of the river.
Right. Now, when I started, because I've been a cable customer right from the very beginning, the first big attraction was the sports channels out of New York. 9 had the Mets, 11 had the Yankees. That's kind of where we started.
Well, yeah, the initial lineup was fairly meager, and we had, of course, the local network affiliates, 6, 10, and 13.
Right.
We had the public broadcasting channel, 17.
Right.
And then we had 9 and 11 out of New York, and 9 was the Mets, and 11 were the Yankees. And I think the price for cable at that point in time was $5.95 a month.
Right.
All off-air signals, and there had, this is the early 70s, no talk about satellite TV. And then in 1978, all of a sudden, HBO and Turner Broadcasting, Ted Turner, put their signals up on the satellite, and that launched a whole new era running through, the 80s and 90s, and development of new programming sources. Many of them that are, people can't live without right now, like ESPN was just an idea that developed in the late 70s, early 80s, entertainment sports programming network.
And they didn't have a lot. As I recall, they started out with just meager products out there. It wasn't much at all.
Well, I remember going to a cable television convention, I think it was in Dallas, and ESPN had a room in a hotel they called like a hospitality suite. They had no big organization at that time, and they were trying to get companies to sign up for their service. And we went there and we were trying to figure out, are people actually going to watch this? What are they going to provide? Because we were so used to the networks commanding the audience, and people, in the 1970s, people didn't have a remote control. So you'd sit down and watch TV all night, and you'd never get up to change the channel.
Right, you'd pick one network, you'd stay with it, and that was pretty much it.
If CBS had the best shows, then
that's where you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the world really changed when the programming went to the satellite, because then you could get programming from anywhere, and of course sports and movies dominated, and then we move into the 1990s, and all of a sudden there's this new networking system they call the internet.
Right.
And we really didn't know anything about that. We were really in the business of providing a quality television signal, and then all of a sudden here's the internet, and of course that's changed everything. And you just fast forward from the late 90s into the 2000, early 2000s, 2005, and we really have dramatically changed the business now because of the network that we have, and we rebuilt the entire system with new infrastructure, fiber optic cables.
All these things that you didn't envision originally, no.
So it's really been, the 40 years has not been just sort of the same old, same old. It's been an evolution of, new services, and at each step along the way, there's been a significant investment required. I think at this point, when we started off, we had like 10 or 11 channels.
Right.
And then the next step was 36 channels. And I remember everybody saying, don't worry about it. You'll never fill up 36 channels. How is anybody going to watch 36 channels? And then we got to 36 channels after several years of rebuilding, and next thing you know, people want more. There's more programming sources. And so it just kept moving along. And consumers followed because they started finding new programming that they were attracted to, they were interested in. And of course, in recent times, you know, you have the development of high definition television, and
big leap. That's a big leap.
Who can watch a sporting event or a movie in standard def television anymore? You just can't.
There's no comparison. It really isn't.
And
no.
So, you know, the technology has changed to dramatically improve the services that are delivered, the video services, the internet, the high-speed internet connections that we deploy throughout our service area have really changed, you know, the whole way that people organize themselves, that they become more productive as a result of that. And then, of course, we launched cable phone, and we were never in the phone business, but it allowed us to provide voice service over the internet to help people save money.
Right.
So it's been quite an experience, and it continues to evolve.
It does. What I'm amazed about is just as television has remained the central source of entertainment for family as a group, but with these changes, you've been able to plug in these various opportunities with a high-speed internet, with the phone, and now you're really delivering services that are up and above the entertainment, but entertainment is still very strong there.
Well, one of the most important transformations that I see now, and some refer to it in different ways, but they call it TV Anywhere, and there are now new applications because of some of the new hardware devices, the smartphones, the iPads, the tablet computers, so that, you know, you can really have the programming you want, the content that you want, streamed to whatever device you have when you want it. So it's really putting the consumer in control and enabling people to organize their lives around what's really important to them. And then if they want to you know, save a program, they can use a DVR to do that, so you can take care of something that's important for your family or your business, and then when you have free time, you can go to your programming, your content. Right. So it's making convenience a big new opportunity, and again, you know, it requires, you know, staying focused on, you know, where the technology is leading. I mean, new technology doesn't always mean that it's going to translate into a better experience for the consumer, but a lot of it does, and we want to be right there with that.
And you've been very successful. Let's talk about another key element of your 40-year experience in the community, and that's service to the customer. You're talking about, just before we went on the air, about IVR, which I'm not familiar with. Maybe you can share some of that information with us.
Well, IVR is one of those secret little abbreviations. It's an interactive voice response system, and what that is it's a phone system. You know, we have hundreds and hundreds of calls every day. People, you know, wanting, you know, a wide range of questions. You know, some people want to add service, some people want to change their service, some people have a question about their bill, some people are having a problem with their service and we need a technical support. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to streamline that experience and not make people wait on hold. If there's a power outage, we get hundreds of calls, and people will get, you know, they'll be stuck on hold in a queue. We're investing in this new system which will interact with the customer. It's voice responsive, so that it will recognize voice recognition, allow you to do simple things, to pay your bill, to find out your account balance, simple questions, so that you don't have to wait. And all of that is geared towards providing more time, so that if you have some, you know, real difficult questions, you have a problem that you want solved, you need to talk to somebody, that'll offer free time, more free time.
This will get you there quicker.
Yeah, and it's all about, you know, a lot of the focus over, you know, the last several years has been, you know, the customer experience. And really, because once we go to the house and make the connections and see that everything's working properly, the relationship doesn't end there, because we constantly have you know, responsibilities. People get new equipment and they bring it home from the store and plug it in, and maybe it doesn't work correctly. They call us, and we go out there, and we don't charge for the service calls. We never have.
No, and I think that's very important, because I had that when I switched to HD. The people came, the service people came, set me up, and realized that the system had some downgrade over the years, and they said, you should have called us ages ago. I said, well, I didn't know that I could call on you to do that, because you're assuming there's some kind of service charge or some kind of problem. He said, no, we'll take care of it. And again, it simplified everything, including hooking up TV, which I had no knowledge of. So,
well, it's one of the things that is not, I think, clearly understood, the enormous expense of operating the system, you know, with over 1,200 miles of aerial plant in the air throughout Columbia and Greene and southern Albany counties. We're really, you know, the only company over the last 40 years that has made a significant investment in upgrading the infrastructure. You see communities that, you know, are not too far away from us that do not have modern fiber optic networks that can deliver, you know, digital cable, that can deliver high-speed internet and internet phone services. And there's a lot of frustration there, because they go to work, and most businesses have an internet connection. They need that to compete, and then people go home and they don't have access to the internet. But it's an ongoing investment, not only in the, you know, the data network has to constantly be upgraded, because more and more demand, more and more users. People now stream movies from Netflix. All of that requires increased bandwidth, and so that if you want to ask for a movie at your house, and your neighbors are playing games and using a lot of bandwidth over at their house, that might slow you down. And so we've got to keep investing in and making that experience a quality one for everyone. And so it's challenging, because we operate in a rural marketplace, and, you know, it's impossible to run the fiber everywhere. You know, they don't put, you know, sewer systems throughout the entire town. They don't put water systems throughout the entire town. But we're doing everything we can to build the infrastructure, because we understand that not only is it important for our business to provide the services that we want to provide to the customers, it's clearly a very important piece of the economic development of this region. Because if you don't have the infrastructure, you're not going to attract the business and the new jobs that are coming. And with all of the excitement about the nanotechnology development in the capital region, you know, our marketplace, I think, is you know, well positioned to invite new investment or invite new development, because the infrastructure is there. And it's not everywhere, because it can't be. You know, if there's, you know, too few homes per mile, you'll never be able to repay that. And the way that those homes will be served is through newer technologies, wireless technologies.
Which is coming.
It is.
So over the 40 years, tremendous development in technology, which allows you to build these platforms, high-speed internet, HD TV service, voice over internet protocol phone. Along with that, customer service has been a key element. But the biggest thing you spoke about, and I think it's terribly important, is the ongoing investment that you made over 40 years and continue to make. That's something you're very proud of, isn't it, James?
Well, it's been a real challenge, because, you know, it's taken, you know, we've gone through, over that 40-year period, several economic cycles where, you know, the economy's been, you know, not so good, and then at other times it's been much better. And we had a whole period of time where there was a lot of development throughout the area, and now in the last several years the housing market has been difficult.
Yeah.
But we've continued to plod along and be very cautious about making sure that the investments we make, we have the ability to pay down that investment debt and be positioned so that if we need to make further investments, we have the ability to do that. And so that's really what our focus has been, and it remains a challenge, but we feel confident that the consumers, the people that reside in this region are value the services we provide, and so we're continued down that path.
Congratulations. 40 years
Thank you.
Outstanding service
Thank you, Jim.
to the community. I know you're proud, and I stand very proud of the company as well.
I think the key takeaway from this whole thing is it's really not about me or Mid-Hudson is really a group of very focused employees. There's 85 plus employees that make this experience for all of our customers happen, and that's really what the company is about. It's about the people that work there and are focused and try to keep up with the technology. So we're very proud of them.
And well, you should be. James, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Jim.
We'll be right back after a few messages.
The future is almost something out of the Jetsons, where everyone will be able to take any of the content we can deliver in a digital format and use it on any platform and take it with them wherever they go. Our customers want the latest in all of the services that we're providing, whether it's digital cable, high-speed internet, or digital phone services. But we also understand that the investment we're making is critical to the economic development of the region that we serve. And we've been involved with this for almost 40 years, a tremendous amount of investment. We know that investment lies ahead, but we know that it's actually a partnership that we're building with the communities that we serve.
Welcome back. We're going to try something new today. We're going to introduce a segment called Featured Customer, and I wanted to get the best customer that I could get. And I searched high and low, and I got an old friend of mine, Mike Coyne. I asked Mike to come in and join us today. Mike, how are you?
Hi, Jim.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you, too.
Yeah. We were talking before we went on the air that you've had some really positive experiences with Mid-Hudson Cable. Maybe you share some of that with us.
Oh, absolutely. Infrastructure is so important to, all of our local areas, to our local governments, to our school districts, to our businesses, to everything in a region. It helps define a region, and the investment that Mid-Hudson has made into our region has just been great. I can remember in '83 when I bought my home in Acre. There was a rotary antenna, and I got 3 channels, and one of them was fuzzy, and it was terrible. And I wasn't there but a couple of months, and Mid-Hudson came down the block and said, "Hey, why don't you try this out?" And it's been fantastic since. I mean, I went from that to that hybrid mess of from the dial-up and the high-speed hybrid, into the actual high-speed connections now, and the kind of stuff that I do, with politics and on the street and campaigns and so forth. That high-speed stuff is fantastic for, and I've met so many people over the last few years that have actually been able to relocate from other areas because they love our area so much, and they're able to actually move their businesses and do it from here and get that done because a high-speed connection is available here. And the people that he has working for him, and I can imagine he probably doesn't know all of them personally. I don't know, but he's got some fantastic people working for him, that fellow Mortfolio, Steve
Mortfolio, one of the good guys.
What a great guy. He's got one of his technicians, Dave Clapp. He's one of my neighbors.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of it, is that these are all people that live with in the community, that we know. You know, John Ludnick, another fellow.
John's an old pal of mine.
And he lives right around the corner from me also. And these are, you know, I mean, we know their wives, their children, their families, and Mid-Hudson's been able to be a part of that and be part of our community.
It's fabulous.
And it's great. And I just love the way that they're expanding, that they're rolling out with fiber and trying to get faster and better and you know, more reliable connection, and to get more of our rural area, especially out in Green, where it's a lot more rural. And you know, the return on investment for Mr. Reynolds or for the company is sometimes a little bit tough, but he's even trying that as best as he can to, you know, get us as much high-speed infrastructure into our region that we can get.
Works well. You were saying you had some personal experience with customer service. That's worked really well for you.
Another thing, this is the beauty of it being a local business versus it being one of the national concerns or a national company. When you're nothing but an account number, or you pick up the phone and you don't know if you're calling, you know, Catskill. Well, you always know you're calling Catskill when you pick up the phone with Mid-Hudson, or if you're calling somewhere overseas. You know, I ran into a little difficulty myself a few months back, and was able to, you know, give the company a call and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to be able to make the whole payment this month. Can we work something out? And those folks were just fantastic with me. You know, as long as I was talking to them and back and forth, and look, I can make it on this date, and I can get you this much, and you know, and they worked through me. Now the bills are all well paid now, and all the rest of it. But there was a period of 4 or 5 months that I needed them to work with me so that I could make ends meet on the other end too. And these guys, after, you know, again, I've been a long-term customer. They know where I am. That because they are a local company, they're able to deal with our local folks.
Right, and value you individually. I think it's terribly important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the things, and I've known James a long time and a big fan of the company, but that service they provide to customers is just exceptional.
It is in my estimation. Even when we've had like little technical problems, you know, they get you on the phone, and the cable phone. I'm saving the money that I'm saving from the cable phone is unbelievable. Is unbelievable. So you know, you get those guys on the phone, you give them a buzz and say, look, I got a little problem with this or a little problem with that. They put you into the right folks right away. If there's a little problem with your digital box because maybe there was a flicker with the electricity or a thunderstorm or whatever,
which we get all the time.
But you call them up and boom, they say, Mr. Coyne, hold on 30 seconds. All right, take a look at your box now. What's it say? You know, and it's done. It's there you are. You got your picture back, and now that all the high definition stuff's available, and the that one I'm forgetting where where you record the shows and then play them back later.
DVR,
the DVR features.
Visual recorder, yeah.
Right, and of course, grabbing those movies as they're you know, coming out of the theater. I mean, it's just you know, it's
that's
just
really nice.
It is nice. Sit around the living room with the family and be able to. Or you know, and I got to tell you, some of the programming is really good.
Yeah.
So some of the programming is really fantastic to be able to the spectrum of programming that's available. Look, I've got from grandchildren right on up now. So you know, just hitting that one button that says the kids channel and being able to give the grandkids like 4 or 5 different choices of you know, cartoons that are going at that moment.
Right.
By just hitting a button is just, you know, and
I like that convenience. Is really good.
Yeah. And the news stuff that's there, and any kind of, it's almost like every kind of like little section of life is available on it's there, man.
And you can make that choice, and it's handy. I must tell you that I feel the same way you do, and I've told James many times, customer service is a big part of his success as a company, and I think that's what we celebrate.
If it's not for customer, you know, it just seems that almost everybody there at Mid-Hudson knows who gives them their paycheck. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, they understand that they get paid because of the service that they provide the people that are purchasing the service. It's simple enough.
Can't do better than that.
You can't. You really can't. And he's been a good steward for us in Greene County, and I know that the work that they've done over here in Columbia County also has been real good too. So You know?
He's a good one.
I wish him well. I wish the company well. It's for all of our benefits. It's for the greater good. It really is.
Can't beat that.
Yeah,
I'm going to stop right there because I don't think we can say it better than that. Mike Coyne, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right, Jim.
If you'd like to join us in this segment based on customer satisfaction or interest in the company as a customer, give us a call. Give Cable a call. You can call 943-6600. We'd love to talk to you. We'll be back after a few messages.
We know our customers depend on us in the evening, on the weekends, on holidays, and we do know that the services that we provide are very important in the lives of our customers, and we take that very seriously. We want to deliver the highest quality of service 24/7.
Welcome back. We have some friends with us today from Columbia Green Community College. Joan Coweek.
Hi, Jim.
Carol Novak. Joan, give us your title, please.
I am the Executive Director of the Columbia Green Community Foundation. I'm also the Director of Alumni Services.
Very good. And Carol?
I'm the Assistant to the President.
I'll have you know that Carol accounted for most of my career at the college. She got me over the bumps when I was a student there. We're speaking specifically today about an event, and that is your annual auction. So, Joan, you want to start us off there?
We have an auction every year for our students so we can raise scholarship money to help the students who attend Columbia Green Community College.
Very good. Where are you going to host this event?
We hold it right on campus in the PAC building. It's our newest building up on the hill.
You have to watch with the short PAC building. What is the PAC building?
The Professional Academic Center.
See, that's why we want to have it around the Academic Center.
Yes.
Carol, you've been involved with these activities for a long time. What can they look forward to in this event?
We have a great sponsorship from the community, and we have fabulous items that we auction. And we also feature lovely food from Cascades.
Oh, nice.
And we usually have a signature cocktail that the ladies on the auction committee spend quite a bit of time coming up with.
Right.
And it's a wonderful event, and we raise money for a very good cause, you know, for our students.
It really is, because having graduated from Columbia Green, I'm very proud of that fact. The scholarships are critically important, aren't they, Joan?
Oh, they're very important, especially now, as everyone can understand with the economy. Our students are struggling from anything from gas money to get back and forth,
Right.
Their food, their books, their tuition. So any way that this foundation can help them works for them. And we've been very fortunate. The community has been very supportive of this particular auction and most of our events. But this is a big one. This is an important one. We generate a lot of scholarships from this particular evening.
Wonderful. Carol, I'm going to go back to you again. What are some of the activities that are going to take place during the evening?
Well, we have a silent auction, and then we end the event with a live auction.
Okay.
And that's a pretty exciting event. We do that in the Saland Forum, and people really get into it. And we have Roy Brown, who volunteers his time every year to be our auctioneer.
Right. Roy's a very nice fellow. Tell him what his title is.
Roy is the chairman of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors.
I wasn't sure she was going to get that up.
Yeah,
I wasn't really sure, but yeah, Roy has, he's, first of all, he's worked at the college, so
He has.
he understands the value, and I think he imparts that when he does the auction, does he not?
And he's been a great supporter of the college and of the foundation, and also of the Alumni Association.
Right.
He has worked with Joan for a long time, trying to help her build that Alumni Association.
Right. Now, we want to do a little praise of Mid-Hudson Cablevision as well.
Absolutely.
You just had your annual auction, and Cable also does some support of that
yes,
event, do they not?
The Cable is a main sponsor of one of our main sponsors of the golf tournament, also held to support the scholarship fund, and donates a prize that everybody tries to win every year. And the woman who won this year was ecstatic, ecstatic. So we thank you for that.
Yeah.
And
James Reynolds, the president of the company, is a member at Leatherstocking out in Cooperstown, and you're right, that's one of the prize gifts that are handed out. And they do look forward to it. I'm a little disappointed I didn't win, but that's a different story.
Sorry, Jim. Next year.
Speaking of that, what are some of the items that are going to be up for auction?
Well, they vary every year. Normally we try to have a trip to somewhere. We have lots of artwork. We have lots of photographs. We have gifts that range from small things to more expensive items. Could be household, could be golf packages,
jewelry.
Oh yes, we can't forget jewelry.
Well, you also have some sporting events. I don't want to name them.
That's right.
Because they change from year to year, but major professional sporting events as well. I really like the idea of this activity. Carol, as you look at this and you look at the people participating, the people who work on it from the college have as much fun as the people who come to participate, don't they?
We do. We do. And actually, we start planning very early. We started meeting about 2 months ago, I would say. And we start meeting once a month initially. And then as we get closer, it's every 2 weeks, then it's every week, then sometimes it's daily. And we have a fabulous group of ladies who are make up the auction committee, and they are very, very devoted to this. And they help us to get out there and solicit the local community, the local vendors, and then they're very creative, and we come up with a theme each year, and everybody's involved in creating that theme, and we all have our own individual roles in helping, whether it be secretarial or creating databases or going out there and soliciting. And then we have a lot of fun just before the event. We get together and we put baskets together. And we get creative with what we put in the baskets.
And those are part of the silent auction
Yes, they
activity.
are. Yes, they are. And I feel very lucky and blessed to be part of this group of ladies because they're all talented and dedicated in their own way, and we work very well together.
So, Joan, you're going to tell us the date, the time, and the location of the event. Share that with us, please.
It is on November 5th at Columbia Green Community College in the Professional Academic Support Center, and it will start at 5 o'clock in the evening. We'd love to have everybody there. If you'd like to donate, please call the college. We'll be glad to pick up any donations to help support this event. And thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And Carol, Joan reminded us when we were taking a break before that James Reynolds, the president of Hudson Cable, is on the foundation board.
Yes,
that's kind of nice, isn't it?
It's very nice. He's been very supportive, and we appreciate it.
That's great. Again, I want to thank Carol Novak, Joan Coey.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate you joining us. Always great to get together with you, too.
It's a pleasure, Jim.
Fun. Thanks.
Thank you.
We also want to thank Mike Coyne, our Spotlight customer, and James Reynolds, president of Hudson Cablevision. And we look forward to seeing you again real soon on All the Right Connections.